Why are we doing this, Ruth?
We're just... Why are we doing this, Anya? I'll tell you why we're doing this, Anya. Because, ta-da! Already the Facebook launch has been a success because Soul Astrology, the Kindle version, but this is the paperback, is now a bestseller on Amazon.com. The Kindle version has gone in at number 17 on one of the Amazon bestseller lists. And I know a lot of people don't know what that means, but you know, if you're an author, how many years on you for Soul Astrology in the making? 3, 4? Yeah. Some of the people actually who have been writing messages today have been waiting years for this book to come out. So it's a long time and it's a lot of work. So it means something. It does mean something when it goes in on the bestseller list like that. It's really, really good. So now,
and it simply means purchasing the book. Purchasing the book is what drives it up the list.
That's right. That's right. It's purchases of the book. So wouldn't it be awesome if we could really have both our twins on the bestseller list on the same night or day? Wouldn't that really be good? So those of you who are listening now, I really urge you to not wait. Remember, Anya's book, Lightworker Undercover, is half price. Half price. It's $9.99 for the launch. For the launch now. You can go and buy Anya's book, lightworkerundercover.com, click on the link, hop over to Amazon, get yourself a copy for $9.99, because after the launch it goes up to the full price, which is $19.99. So you have to speak, Anya.
I'm just so elated. I'm so happy. It's a wonderful feeling. I'm very happy for you, Ruth. And like you say, it's been 3 or 4 years, that book in the making. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you to everybody so far today it's been really awesome. It's happened so fast. So thank you to everybody so far today who scooted off over to Amazon and bought a copy. And so now, I mean, these books, as we said in the previous broadcast, they are really complementary. People often ask me, why is my perception so different? It's so different from other astrologers. My perception is so different. And I can only say it's because I have been working with Anya. Anya has been my intuition mentor. You've heard me speak of Alan Oaken as my astrology mentor. Well, Anya is my intuition mentor. It's Anya that's taught me everything about energy and the language of energy and how to be more self-aware. So I really and sincerely would not be here talking about soul astrology, and this book wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Anya. So if you can embrace the insights in Anya's book, Lightworker Undercover, you will be well on your way to really understanding the energetics of astrology. And I mean that sincerely. So it's very important work. It's very significant work, and Lightworker Undercover is just a fantastic book to get you started, to give you a basic overview of energy and intuition and perception and emotions, how it all fits together, our emotional scale. So hop over to lightworkerundercover.com, grab yourself a copy, launch price $9.99, $9.99. You can't go wrong. There you go. There's a little plug for Anya's book. Because I'm so happy to be on, to have Soul Astrology be on the Amazon bestseller list. But I would be more than happy if Anya's book would be there too. That would be great. So go and buy her book now, because it's the number of copies that are all bought in a short space of time. That's what did it, because so many people today have gone and bought my book all on one day, and those sales haven't been spread out over a long time. That's what it onto number 17 on the bestsellers rank.
Right,
So come
right.
on, folks, we can
Heading
do
to
this.
number one, Ruth. It's heading for number one.
Well,
Woo!
we hope so. But come on, there's enough of us here. There's 75 people in this Facebook party last time I looked. So there's enough people listening to these broadcasts who are interested enough in the work, who are interested in the spiritual path. You know, 9.99, hop over and let's help Anya get her book on the bestsellers list too. I'd buy one myself, but I'm not allowed to because I'm the publisher.
So
Okay.
I think we have a question to answer, Ruth.
We do. Thank you to Lisa, who we've got a fantastic question here. This is a great question. So Lisa Saunders, thank you, Lisa. Lisa says, hello, Ruth. Here is an open question. I have read some of your writings about opposites, partly as my own chart is full of them. And as outcome, I have realized each pole, as it were, is a facet that may offer soul reflection in seeing itself. Great insight, Lisa. If the heart center is the midpoint of feeling between these opposites, embracing all in oneness, where in between the microcosm and the macrocosm would a heart center be found in our outer world? Okay. Do we need that question again, Anya, or do you just want the last part of it?
Probably, yeah. It's a big question. It is a beautiful question. So let's repeat it for the video if someone doesn't get it first time.
Okay. If the heart center is the midpoint of feeling between these opposites, embracing all in oneness, where in between the microcosm and the macrocosm would a heart center be found in our outer world? Well, on reading this question, we both read the question together, Anya and I, and we could both answer it. But and in truth, I said, Anya, you know, really, you could answer this question more than I. I could answer this question from a soul astrology perspective, and Anya could answer it from a, well, I wouldn't like to actually say what perspective, because you'd probably like to just be completely open in how you address it. Would you like to go first, or should I?
You go, Ruth, because the question's directed at you.
Okay. So here we go, Lisa. So first of all, let's have a look at what you said about this realization that each pole is a facet that may offer soul reflection in seeing itself. Yes and no. Yes and no. It depends on where you are at in your consciousness. Because if you're still very personality centered, then the soul cannot be reflected in the opposites. The soul doesn't exist in the opposites. The soul lives in or exists in a dimension of unity consciousness, oneness. I know this is paradoxical. If the soul's going through all these developmental stages, how can it be oneness? It is. It's in oneness at the same time. That's a paradox. So when you are looking at the polarization, when you're looking at the opposites, you're almost looking at the same energy, but from like two ends of a seesaw. So if we think of Cancer and Capricorn as an example, what tends to happen in personalities is we polarize because of our conditioning. We get stuck at one end of the pole because that's where we're most comfortable, and we keep repeating habit patterns. We just keep repeating habitually. So if we think of a seesaw, one end of the seesaw would be Cancer, one end of the seesaw would be Capricorn. So there you've got this loving, very highly empathic, compassionate Cancerian, very emotionally intelligent. At the other end, you've got very practical, ambitious, steadfast Capricorn, knows what to do to achieve things, knows how to pull resources together. Capricorn's the resource manager of the zodiac. Let's pull our resources together and let's pack our backpack and just take steady steps, and we're going to climb that mountain. We'll just keep going. We won't be distracted, and we'll get to the top of Everest. So you can see that if you're in a relationship, if two people are in relationship and one's a Cancerian and one's a Capricorn, it's not necessarily true, unless both of these people were highly conscious, it's not true that those polarities would balance out. They could polarize even more, because you could always, in that relationship, you could always rely on the Cancerian, for example, to provide all the emotional support, and for the Capricorn to always be the practical one. And they could become dependent on each other in that way, so that neither would recognize the quality in themselves. And that's what our spiritual journey is about. We move to oneness by recognizing the other in ourselves at the personality level. Is this making sense? Then when we get to your piece about the heart center, if the heart center is the midpoint of feeling between these opposites, esoterically, there are three ways to talk about the heart. We've got the physical heart, then we've got the emotional heart, then we've got the spiritual heart. And when we start talking about the spiritual heart center, we're really talking in unity consciousness. It's not a central location like a physical point, not like you could say that's the target, that's the center of the bullseye. It isn't a center in that way. When you're in the heart center, from that perspective, all is oneness and everything is within that heart center. There are no opposites in the heart center at that level. So when you're
not out there, you're in here.
Well, there's no out there in here. It's all one and the same.
I know.
And so also, when you say we're in between the microcosm and the macrocosm, would a heart center be found in the outer world? There would be no heart center in the outer world. The outer world would be in the heart center. And there would be no microcosm and no macrocosm, because all of that is one. Now, this is really incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible to the intellect. And that's why in esoteric astrology, the Tibetan says we are evolving from instinct to intellect to intuition. We're evolving from instinct, passing through intellect to intuition. And intuition's a higher form of intelligence. Anya says this often, but I'm saying it because the Tibetan also says it in esoteric astrology. So intuition is the higher form of intelligence, and intuition is heart intelligence. It's the language of the heart. To be intuitive, you have to have a very open and expanded heart. So I'm going to give another illustration from Tibetan Buddhism. They speak about a great Buddhist yogi, a Buddhist saint actually, called Milarepa, who one day took shelter inside a yak horn. A yak is a kind of a Tibetan buffalo with horns, so you can imagine like a cow horn. And one day it was raining, bad weather, and he took shelter inside this yak horn. So you might think, well, he was a magician, maybe he shrunk himself. But they're very, very clear to say that the yak horn got no bigger, and Milarepa didn't get any smaller. So now we're just like, well, okay, but now we can't. From the mental mind, from the intellect, we cannot figure out how he did that. You can only see how or perceive the possibility of that if you are in unity consciousness. If you're in the space where physical reality starts to diminish because you're more in alignment with a spiritual reality. And so the point I'm saying that is because size doesn't exist. Distance doesn't exist, and time doesn't exist in pure consciousness. So I hope this answer is not too Zen-like for you, Lisa, but it's really the truth that as we progress in consciousness, we perceive things at different levels because our consciousness is shifting. It's not that reality is changing, but we're getting a clearer and more accurate perception of reality as being less solid and more about the dance of energy. So, okay, would you like to add anything to that, Anya, or would you like me to read it again and then you respond?
No. It's okay. Let's see. What I would add to that, this is to everyone now, not going to address Lisa directly, because now the question has been answered and it's very expanded in the answer. So how does one begin to understand that answer? I think a simple example would be if you wanted to summit a mountain. And so you're going around the mountain as you ascend the mountain. And let's say there's, 25 people in this that are going to summit the mountain. If you were to ask everyone to stop and went to each person and asked for their view, depending upon where they are in the ascending of that mountain, they're going to share with you their experience, their truth in that moment. And no two truths would be the same. Because perception is reality. So what you're perceiving is your reality or your truth in that moment, right? So Ruth went to different spots on the ascension of that mountain to give an answer from several different perspectives, reaching a wider audience. Does that make sense, Ruth?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. So the questions that we form are indicators as to where we are on our journey. Whether we're still in polarity or we're starting to do the dance moving into unity consciousness or oceanic consciousness. No right, no wrong. It's just where we are in our own unique individual journey. We, as the journey is on this planet, bringing spirit, light to the planet as the micro of the macro. Now I'm moving into, I got to be careful because I'm going to bring in a whole new thing, but this is not the place in this moment to do it. So it's, the question had, as you said, Ruth, some polarity in it. And the new energies that are coming on the planet, flooding the planet, many, many empaths, many, many sensitives are really feeling it. Animals especially. You'll notice a shift in their behavior. That is bringing in the energy of oneness. And so we are moving out of duality into oneness. We're not seeing things from right, wrong. So, as you mentioned, Ruth, we are heading toward the center of that spectrum. We are moving toward the center of that spectrum. And in that, here is everything. At a certain phase, if you will, in that journey, here is everything. Everything is in here and projects out there. But it goes way deeper and way more expanded in that. But when we're in our personality, when we're in our mental mind, the mental mind's going to go hogwash. So we only go so far. until we move in the ascension up the mountain, and the view, the air gets thinner, everything gets sharper. The view is, how would I say, there's no such thing as macro and a micro. It's just is. It just is. So for Lisa now, Lisa, if you ponder that question for yourself for a moment, this I know for sure. To formulate such a powerful question, actually it's true for any question, the subconscious is already waiting for that answer to emerge. The question is the key that unlocks the subconscious for the answer that you already know, that's residing inside of you, that you're now ready to hear and integrate. So are we really getting out there now, Ruth?
I think it's good. I think we kind of put it in context in the way that people can get it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And the
I'm just
new
kind of
children, and the new children coming in are so wide open. They're standing on the summit. They're so wide open. As a matter of fact, we're going to drop in a video, fantastic video, that really portrays the new children, and that the age really ranges on that. I don't think just young children. It just goes up to 9 and 10 and 15, but they carry a consciousness of that which we are speaking about.
So was that the video that we were talking about that we dropped in earlier? I think that's already up there on the page.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, excellent. Awesome.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but oh well.
Yeah. It's good video. So it's already up there on the page, folks. You can click and watch that.
Yeah, I'd
Okay,
love
so
to
we've
hear your
got,
comments on it.
and that's why I was just checking the Facebook page to. I have to refresh the page to see if there's comments there from people. But I can see now a comment from Claire. Claire Isherwood is asking, "Is that only for US dollars, $9.99?" You can go to Amazon. You can click on the link. If you go to lightworkerundercover.com, there's a button to go through Amazon.com, which is the USA, or you can go to Amazon.co.uk, which is the UK, and you can pay, and it will convert it for you. I think it's in British pounds. I think it's £7 something, and $9.99 in US dollars. But that's still half price, whatever price it says, because it's been converted. That will double when the launch ends. So yeah, you can go to. All you need to do is go to lightworkerundercover.com, and then you'll see the options there to purchase it on either Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk. Yeah.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you to Lisa for that great, powerful question. So yeah, people, remember we're here 24 hours. We're here until 4:15 p.m. UK time on Saturday, and that will be 11:15 a.m. tomorrow Eastern time. The other time, if you need to convert the other time zones, you can go to timeanddate.com, and there's a handy time zone converter there, so you can figure that out. So we're going to be here. There's still lots of fun stuff that we want to share, and coming up later, we've got the live broadcast where I'll be asking Anya about her book, so we'll get to hear even more about Anya's amazing journey through this life, supporting light workers like you and I in becoming brighter and really fulfilling our potential, following our life path. I wouldn't be following my life purpose if I hadn't have met Anya. So lots of good stuff coming up. We are going to, I'm still sitting with how to do the giveaways, the competitions that we wanted to do. We did have some books for prizes and other things, but I was disappointed that the
Yeah.
Video is not working the way we wanted to do it on Facebook. So we're going to have to think of a different way to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Take a moment to explain that, Ruth, for the
well,
people who have to make that cross the street.
we apologize for people who are having problems with the video taking you over to YouTube. What we expected to happen, what was supposed to happen, was that you click on the video like you normally do with a Facebook video, watch it on Facebook, and then if we asked you a question, you could put the answers right away in Facebook. And that's how we were going to do the competitions. We were going to ask you some questions, and when you answered them, we could just say the first person to give us the correct answer is the winner. I still think that's probably what we'll do, but instead of doing it with the video, we'll have to just type in the question, and then the first person to answer the question immediately underneath the question, not if you answer it somewhere else because somebody's shared the post. If you answer it immediately underneath on the page where the question is, the first person with the right answer will be the winner. I'm thinking we'll have to do it that way because what's happening with the video is that some people, especially if you're on a mobile phone, you tap on it to watch the video and it yanks you over to YouTube, and some people haven't got YouTube accounts and aren't able to watch it that way. So we haven't forgotten, we're just having to rethink how we do the prize giveaways. And we know some of you are waiting for that because some of you are waiting to win, see if you can win a copy of the book. So there'll be at least a copy of my book and a copy of Anya's book, and we'll do that shortly. And then you can relax, and if you didn't win, you can go and buy a copy. So so we'll do that. We'll do that pretty quickly. We'll probably try and get that done in the next hour or so. And then also we've got some videos that we're going to share, some soul astrology videos. Anya's got some videos that she wants to share, and I have got a video that I took which is hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical. You watch if you go to
Ruth, is it possible? Is it possible? Is it possible that you and I on this Google chat can be watching the Facebook thing at the same time?
No.
Because of audio.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a good idea, but we would get too much feedback through the audio. We
and
couldn't
I'd
do
probably be laughing so hard no one could hear anything.
Because
It's awesome.
if you go to soulastrologybook.com and you see the little 1 minute promotional video that I did, it looks so easy. Like, okay, this is Ruth and this is soul astrology. You wouldn't believe how many takes it took me to get that right. So it was so funny. It was so funny. I put together a little video of the outtakes, and I just thought that would be fun for us to share for our little Facebook party here today. So I'm going to post that up later as well. So we've still got things coming. Yeah, we're still on it. We just had a bit of a disappointment with the technology not working in the way that we hoped, but that's life. That's how live broadcasts go. So we've had to have a rethink, and so it's great news about the Amazon bestseller. But yeah, hop on over and lightworkerundercover.com. Come on, folks, let's help Anya. Let's help Anya get on the Amazon bestseller list. So I've just refreshed the page one more time before we drop off to see if anybody else is asking anything. Okay, no more comments yet. So great. And thank you, Claire. You've posted in the right place. That's exactly where you need to comment, where you need to type in your comments, your questions, is directly underneath the live video that's going live at the time. So the actual video that you're watching is the one where you need on the actual page to type the comments. If a friend has shared it and you're watching it in your news feed and you comment from there, we can't see it.
Right.
So if you're making comments and asking questions and thinking, why can't she hear me? You're not in the right place. You have to actually click on the name, Anya and Ruth's joint book launch, go to the page, find the video on the page itself, and type your comments and questions in there. Then you can watch the video for your answer from your news feed. But if you're just typing in comments on your news feed, we can't see them. So thank you to Claire, thank you to Lisa. And I think that's it for now, until later. Anya?
I guess within the hour, Ruth, we'll be back. And just everyone have fun with some of these videos that we're posting. And there'll also be videos that are really informative. I'm thinking about, yeah. Anyway, be sure to, will they all?
Okay, looks like we've got our first glitch of the day. I don't know if you can still hear me, but Anya froze there for a moment. So go ahead, Anya. You'll have to repeat what you were asking. Oh, looks like she's still frozen.
No, I'm playing it too.
You got me.
I forget what I said. Oh, about I'm asking you, are the videos going to be in one place, or you have to scroll to find each
You'll
one?
have to scroll. You'll have to scroll,
Okay.
yeah, because
Okay.
as the time goes on, as the 24 hours unfolds,
Yeah.
then things will just drop further and further down the page.
Yeah. All good videos.
All good. So we may not be back live within the hour, just to avoid confusion. We're going to try and organise our first quiz, our first competition, so that somebody can win a free book. We'll organise that within the hour, so that, because I know people are waiting for that.
Yeah.
And but we'll be back soon with another live broadcast, probably about 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours, when I will be interviewing Anya, and we'll be talking about Anya's book and Anya's work, and that, I can tell you, is really, really fascinating. So you'll want to be here for that. Okay, and this, I'm just looking at the clock. There's still time for the British people. It's Friday night. You don't need to go to bed just yet. Okay, stay with us. Stay with us a bit longer. Okay, we'll see you later.
Bye for now. Bye.